Yo, 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 what is going on, everyone? Isaac Mashman here. You are now listening to episode 29 of Chase the Vision with Isaac Mashman. Guys, if you cannot tell already, I have an immense amount of energy for today's episode, and I have a lot of things to get off of my chest. This isn't going to be a rant, but this is going to be an episode filled with a ton of value. Now, this episode was originally going to be talking about why it is important to always be taking action regardless of, what your past has been like, regardless of, past habits of procrastination. But that is going to be a future episode just because I have a lot of things that have been on my mind that I think you guys need to hear. And I don't think, actually, I know you guys need to hear. Now, there has been a lot of chaos going on in society over the past couple of months, over the past month especially. 2020 has been a wild year, and it has been a year filled with a lot of challenges, a lot of hardship, a lot of, issues. And I don't know if it's going to get better for the rest of this year as a whole. I don't know if society is going to get better. I highly doubt that it will get better, to be honest, and that is coming from a person who is normally optimistic. But you have to understand why a lot of these issues and a lot of these things are happening. It is the energy. The energy for this year is so chaotic and is so horrible, it's just attracting more and more and more things, and a lot of things are coming into light. I'm not some super spiritual guy who talks about the horoscopes and who talks about astrology and all that crap, but there is a level and a degree of truth behind the energy. Chaos follows chaotic energy. Negative energy attracts more negative energy because of the mind state the people are in. Society as a whole is in a negative mind state. Most people have already discounted 2020, yet there is still 6 months left in 2020. How crazy is that? We have already given up on the rest of the 180 days left in this year to make it great. As a whole, most people are in a sheep mindset, a sheep mentality. I don't say that in a disrespectful way, but society as a whole has programmed us to follow wherever the masses go without even thinking about it. We do not question who we are following, why we are following who we're following, or why we're following the movements that we stand behind. This isn't about politics. This isn't about left or right-wing believers or political viewpoints. This isn't about religion. This isn't about any of that. White, black, green, purple. I don't care what color you are. This stands with every single aspect of life. We have to start thinking for ourselves, guys. This is the podcast title. Think for yourself. I'm going to be a little bit more original than that, but that is the topic of today's episode. It's crazy and it's sad and it's disgusting that just because the masses go somewhere or just because a celebrity tweets something, we automatically think it is true. We automatically think that just because a news network reports on something, it is true. We automatically think that because a documentary or a docuseries or a show on Netflix airs that it's accurate because of they're a credible source, because they're, quote, established. Yet we do not take the time to do our own research. We do not do the time to examine the statistics, to examine the facts, to, examine the logic behind things because we are emotionally exasperated. Humans are emotional creatures. 80% of sales is emotion-based. That is why you have buyer's remorse. And if people in power understand that society will go wherever they pressure the emotion, they are able to use society like pawns to literally accomplish agendas, to accomplish their own aspirations in life, and it's horrible. It honestly is horrible because we don't realize that we're being played. We don't realize that we are not in control. We do not realize that what we are doing will not lead to everlasting change or to permanent change. It might lead to temporary change and temporary unity, but it will not lead to long-lasting unity. I am a highly political guy. I am not conservative. I am not liberal. I am not even in the middle, and I'm not independent. I am literally in my own ballpark that I use logic to develop my opinions. I'm also a very empathetic guy. I understand and I see both sides. But what I have seen over the past couple of weeks that has disgusted the hell out of me is the amount of separation that is going on. We're trying to unite people together, but what is happening? More separation, more hate speech, more, I guess you could say, assumptions about people. It's like we live in a society now. Andy Frisella has talked a lot about this. I listen to a lot of podcasts and I relay the very best information, and then I also relay my own opinions and my own facts and my own experiences. This isn't just the same exact thing another person has said. No, this is coming from my heart, and I take what I think is valuable and what I think is true and what is true. It's a shame how society has developed this mob mentality that if you say anything that is against the popular culture or against the vocal masses, then you are automatically going to be labeled. You're automatically going to be viewed differently. You're automatically going to be hated on. You're going to be attacked on Twitter. You're going to be attacked on social media. And it has caused so many people to be afraid to express their own opinions. Since when did we think that suppressing the voice of other people ever creates change or ever creates coming together as a community, coming together in unity? Since when? It makes absolutely no sense. If we really wanted change, we would sit down and have a conversation. We would sit down and talk and hear out other viewpoints. We would hear out other perspectives. We would hear the experiences that people have had. We would sit down and try to understand and be empathetic and come into it with open-minded. And this is on both sides of the spectrum. This is regarding every single person. If you do not think that this applies to you, you're full of crap and you're entitled. This applies to everybody. Some of you are more open-minded than others, but regardless, every single person has been programmed with a sheep's mentality because of society. We go on social media and we follow people. They have followers. It's like every single person who you're following is its own cult. That's literally what it is. Cults have a following. Cults have a following, and it's crazy because we don't think twice about who we follow, about the information we consume, about the news networks we watch, about the things we read, about the things we say, and the things that we tweet. How does it make any sense if we're trying to lead the change and we're just erupting in chaos and we're erupting in closed-mindedness and being like, this is the viewpoint, every other viewpoint is complete bullshit, and that is it. That is it. There is absolutely no other viewpoint that has any logic or any facts, or it doesn't matter. You could throw statistics my way. Statistics are false. It saddens me, guys. It seriously saddens me, and it makes it to where I don't even want to be on social media. I don't even want to be a part of the society we're a part of because of how everybody is so focused on the problem. We are not focused at all on the solution. I did a video on Twitter and Instagram the other day where I talk about this. I was like, whenever we are faced with a problem, we spend more time devoted to that problem and the task at hand rather than the solution. How do we ever expect to lead to change if we're not even focusing on the solution? And how can we actually change? I'm not talking about toppling statues of Christopher Columbus or generals or any of that, or George Washington, or none of that crap. I'm not talking about just protesting. Sure, yeah, you're showing the people at the top that, you might have that society in a certain degree has a different viewpoint, but do you really think that that's going to lead to change? No, what will lead to change is people getting into power and having minorities and people with different viewpoints taking over senator seats, taking over seats in Congress, taking over and winning districts in your local cities, in the mayor. We need more minorities moving into power so they can fight power with power. We are in a democratic republic. We are not in a democracy. The people at top and career politicians don't care about a whole bunch of people protesting or rioting. Some people do, but people who have been in for 40 years, do you really think that they're just now going to start caring? Chances are no. So instead of focusing on solutions, what is society revolving around? What is society doing? Society is focusing on all the problems and very little solutions. And any solution that has been presented, you want to know something? A lot of the solutions that have been presented have been emotional based and not statistic based. Such a profound thing, isn't it? It's time that we step up as leaders and do what we need to do in order to see change. I do not want my son, my future daughter being raised in a society where it's like it's so divided, it's so separated. So now you not only have class separation from the poor and the rich, the middle class and the poor, the middle and the rich, you also have racial separation. You have all of these different things, separation based off of political viewpoints, separation based off of religious viewpoints. The world is so divided, and I don't see it getting any better unless leaders step up. I am not here expressing viewpoints towards the movement. I am not here to express viewpoints over anything. I am here to present logical solutions so we can actually move forward and see the change that we want to see. There is a podcast coming out on July 1st, the Lincoln Girl podcast that I did with Eric Chow, and I talk about some of these things in a little bit more detail towards the end of the episode. It's a 2-hour podcast episode for the Lincoln Girl Facebook group. If you're curious to know more of those viewpoints, go listen to that show. And it's basically the same exact energy I'm in right now. It just hurts me to see so much separation and just an increased tension, an increased divide. You have cops who are divided. You have the people who are divided. You have people on both sides of the spectrum who are divided. And it's like it's making everybody uncomfortable. This is the last time that I am going to talk on this. After today, I am not tweeting on any of this unless in the future I decide to get into politics, because I am not focusing on all of the bullshit that's going on right now. I'm not careless about it. This is not my way of saying I don't care, but this is my way of saying I got way too much on my plate, and I am going to be focusing on getting mine and being the very best leader, the very best individual, the very best man, the very best version of Isaac Mashman I can be, so I can actually get people to be leaders. Real leaders create more leaders. And right now, we have a bunch of bosses creating sheep and bossing people around. Society as a whole needs leadership. We need community. We need unity. We need leaders with charisma. We need leaders with empathy. We need genuine leaders as well, not people who are just saying things so they can get the popular vote. There was a time where I never talked about politics or religion on my social media because I did not want to create separation. I've encouraged my people who I've worked with to not voice their opinions, and now I've realized just how crappy that perspective was, because people follow you for your personality and for who you are, and if by suppressing certain viewpoints and by suppressing things, you are holding an emotion, and holding an emotion leads to anxiety, leads to depression, leads to a whole bunch of other things. And now I'm realizing that the whole point of being a leader is to express your viewpoints and not be afraid of criticism. If you get one thing from today's episode, that is to literally step up, examine yourself, and try to figure out what you can do to be the very best version of you. What can you do to get your family right, to get yourself right, to get your friends right, to get your circle right? It is in your control. And if you are making change on the small level, you will make change on the big level. If more people get into positions of power, even on a small degree, I'm talking about district representatives in your city. I'm talking about becoming the mayor. Then you work your way up. Then you become the governor. And then you go ahead and become a senator and then a congressman. That is how you progress. That is how you begin to fight power with power. And that is how you can get your voice heard. Not just exercising a platform that you have by being a celebrity. You know, and I find it funny that a lot of these celebrities have never talked about any of these issues at hand, but now that something comes up, they're the first to talk about it, right? They're not like other people like Meek Mill or Rick Ross or, Joey Badass or J. Cole or Kendrick, who have talked about a lot of the issues that have been faced, and those are the ones who are most vocal about it. No, I'm talking about celebrities who have never mentioned anything about any of this going on, and now they're acting like they're lifetime advocates. Those are not leaders, because then that means that they were afraid to ever even speak up. God, guys, society is so broken and so torn, and we need to spend a lot of time doing some deep self-reflection on an individual basis and spend a lot of time developing ourselves and developing solutions. The power is in our hands. The power is in our hands. And without proper execution, I am heavy-hearted with everything going on. I want to see good. I want to be the optimist. I want to see change. I want to see solutions. I want to see unity. And the way society is heading, I don't feel that at all. I do not see change. I do not. I see more chaos. I see more separation. I see higher tensions. And it's about time that people see people and as human beings, not for the color of their skin, not for the political party they're in, not for, the religion that they stand by. People are people. Everybody should be treated like that. Stereotypes should not be existent. I can imagine a lot of you during school, whenever you were in school, a lot of your friends probably cracked jokes, made stereotypes about people of certain religions or races. I had a very culturally diverse friend group. One of my best friends was Saudi Arabian. Another friend was from Ethiopia. Another friend was Filipino. Everybody created jokes based around stereotypes, and I recognize now, looking back, that wasn't something that should have been going on. Because those stereotypes are so deeply ingrained in our society, we begin to believe them. And a lot of times they're not true. 99% of the time they're not true. They just say it and to be funny, to be the comedian. Or you have a family member who might be super, vocal about the things that they're vocal about, to where they can come across as being someone who is full of hatred. When you're at a family dinner and someone cracks a joke, don't step in. Grow a pair and say something. I am no longer going to sit around and listen to somebody say something that I do not agree with. I'm not. And that comes with being a leader. That comes with being an alpha. I'm not just talking about alpha male, I'm talking alpha female. I'm talking alpha being the person who's not afraid to stand up, speak their damn mind, and lead. 99% of people are followers and 1% are leaders. It's time we increase those numbers. Time we increase and make it 99% leaders and 1% followers. Then that's when society will really change. Guys, you disagree with me? That's perfectly okay. I'm fine with that. But if you disagree with me and you feel driven, reach out to me. I want to hear other viewpoints. I'm not one of those people who is closed-minded to other viewpoints and other perspectives. I want you to reach out to me. I want you to tell me what you are thinking. I want you to tell me. But I also want you to come at me with logic and with viewpoints and with statistics and with real things. You can come to me with experiences. Experiences tell a lot. I want to be educated, and I want you to be educated too. You can follow me everywhere at Isaac Mashman. You can find me on my website, isaacmashman.com. And if you're an artist or a musician, you know what? I'm not even going to plug myself. The energy doesn't feel right. Guys, with that being said, always live without limitations and have a great day. And don't give up on the rest of 2020. And don't give up on yourself. Much love.